Well, hello. My name's Donna Rixman, and we're going to do some chair yoga today. I know several of you that are watching are currently my students in person and on Zoom, uh, but welcome, everyone. We're going to do a body appreciation practice today. So this is an opportunity to kind of just notice how you're feeling, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. So I like to start out with just sitting quietly for a moment. You could sit back in your chair if you like. Close the eyes and just bring the awareness to the breath. And you're sitting here just quietly. You can notice your toes and your feet, ankles, shins, calves, joints of the knee, big muscles of the thighs, and where the femur connects at the hip in that socket. Noticing the buttocks, the hips, pelvis, moving into the area of the belly, and letting it be soft as you breathe comfortably. Take your awareness to the back of the body now, the sacrum, and then the low back. Relax the muscles around the low back, middle back, where the ribs connect at the spine. And as you're breathing, you'll notice that area expand. So from the mid back, follow those ribs around to the front, to the sternum. To the chest. And from the chest, take your attention out into the wings of the shoulders, relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears on the exhale. Relaxing the arms that are comfortably hanging from the shoulders, hands resting on the legs. Taking your attention all the way down the arms to the fingertips. And from the fingertips all the way back up the arms into the shoulders. Take your attention between the shoulder blades into the back of the body again, the upper back. Your awareness into the cervical spine, the neck. Notice the movement of breath through the throat. Bring your awareness from the neck up into the head, into the face. Relax the area around the mouth, around the nose, around the eyes, forehead, scalp. Deepening the breath comfortably. Imagining that you are inhaling through every single cell in your body and exhaling through every single cell. And then on the inhalation, you could open the eyes. Starting down at the bottom, you could bring your knee in towards chest and work the toes. Wiggle them around a little bit as you can comfortably. You're supporting the leg with the interlaced fingers here. Not a lot of effort being made. And then ankle rolls, one direction and the other. And then slowly bring it on down. Inhale. Exhale, bring the other knee in. Get in position and start wiggling the toes again. Ankles. And slowly bring it down. Bring the other knee in again, but hold behind the knee and interlace the fingers again if it's comfortable. Modification is just out and in along the floor. Inhale, stretch the leg out, and exhale, draw the knee in. Yeah, working into the hip and the knee. Inhale out. One more. And then slowly bring it down. Make sure you're sitting tall, a little bit forward of the sit bones. And then bring the other leg in, either supported for an up and down 5 times or along the floor out and in 5 times. And then bring it down. You're on your ischial tuberosities, those sit bones. Again, that makes for a nice neutral spine. And then we're going to stretch out the back of the spine by rounding the back. The shoulders will come forward. You're sitting back towards your tailbone. You're lowering your chin. And then inhale forward, raising the chin, drawing the shoulders back and down. And you'll do this for 4 more times. And then when you're finished, I give everyone a moment to have gone as slow as they like. Bring your feet a little closer. So bring the right knee, I'm going to mirror you. Bring the right knee out and bring it back. Again, hips out and in. And you can switch to the other side for 5 repetitions, inhaling out and exhaling in. Notice how my foot is just kind of gently rolling, really doing all the work with my hand. And then when you're finished, you can bring the hands in the heart. Yeah. And then you could open up the knees and open up the arms, and then come back, the hands in the heart. Good. So starting to expand the rib cage into the shoulders, again, working your way up, body awareness. And then when you come back to the hands in the heart, just pause for a moment and bring your elbows in close and towards your body, kind of hugging those ribs. And the arms come forward, parallel to the floor. So on the inhalation, you're going to push straight away, and then you're going to come back and bring the palms towards you, elbows in towards the ribs. So working the wrists. Inhale, exhale, push. And then bring the hands down on the knees for a forward bend. On the exhalation, hinge forward. Draw the shoulders back to initiate the movement back up. So come up like a rag doll. Draw the shoulders back as you're coming up, even if you have to bring your arms back like I just did. Exhale down. Inhale back up. 3 more. And then when you come up, pause, breathe, and then interlace the fingers and stretch out the arms forward. Inhale here. Exhale, you're going to bend the right arm and stretch out that other arm. And come back to center. So whatever direction you're twisting, and you're going to bend that arm so you could stretch the other arm nicely and the shoulder. Inhale. Last time, last side coming up. And then bring the hands down and pause. Maybe even close the eyes for a second at this point in the practice, just kind of noticing how you're feeling. Is the breath smooth and easy? If not, just take another few breaths and just relax into it. And then bring the arms down. Let them dangle. Yeah, just take all the tension out of your shoulders, letting them dangle down those arms, pressing the shoulders down comfortably, just with the force of gravity. Heavy arms. And then inhale, alternate arm raises within your range of motion. So inhale, right arm forward and up. And then exhale down. If you have limitations or shoulder pain, you may just be coming up within your range of motion, maybe here. Yeah, if not, go all the way up. Or shoulder issues, you could bend the arm. Whatever you're doing, just alternate between the arms and make allowances for whatever it is that your body is telling you that you can do without pain. Inhale. Last round coming up. Right arm, left arm. And then bringing the arms down. Let's do sun salutation. For those of you new to this, you may want to watch the first round before joining. The lovely thing about chair-based sun salutation is it uses a lot of the big muscles in the body. And once you learn it, it's something that you could do at home, even if you don't turn on the YouTube channel and do the whole practice. So inhale together and exhale together. Inhale, bring the arms out and up, reach for the sky. Palms in. Exhale, hinge from the hips, bring the hands on the knees. Come down as far as you can. Inhale, draw the shoulders back, just come halfway up, enough that you can just see me. And then exhale down, relax. As you sit up, you're going to look like come up in a push-up position. And then you're going to do a little isometric work here. Press against a heavy door. Yeah, you can groan too. And then inhale at the end. This is chair downward dog. We call it celebrate. And then exhale back. So you think you can remember it? Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward bend, hands in the knees. Inhale, this is tabletop. So you're just coming up a little bit, drawing the shoulders back. And then forward bend. Push up, preparation. Push the heavy door, engage those muscles. And celebrate, stepping the legs out. And as you come back, don't forget to walk the feet back in. Yeah. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, draw the shoulders back, tabletop. Forward bend. Inhale, push up preparation. Push. Celebrate. And return. Last round. Reach for the sky. Forward bend. Tabletop. Forward bend. Push up position. Push the heavy door. Celebrate. And relax back into the beginning. And then relax the hands down. Now to come to standing, we shift the weight forward. So if you're sitting way back in your chair, there's a lot of your body that is on the chair that you have to, it's a little harder to get it all up to standing, right? So if you sit forward on your chair, and certainly don't put yourself in any jeopardy. If this is not appropriate for you, you come to standing however way you can safely go, okay? You might even have a chair in front of you at home so that you could use it to come up, or you might end up using your hands, which is fine. Over time, trying to just build strength in the legs. You know, this is a whole body practice, so we don't want to forget the legs. You're going to take your awareness into the bottom of your feet and kind of press down as if you were going to stand up, and just to note the strength of your legs. And then you start to shift the weight forward so that you can lift the bottom up and come up and reach for the sky. And then bring the arms down. Now you're in perfect position to come around to the back of your chair. Again, if you had a chair in front of you the whole time, you can just stay behind that chair. So this is warrior one. So you're standing tall, and you don't want to be back like this with a rounded back. You want the back as neutral as possible. This is mountain pose, chair version. So bring the right foot back behind you. You could, and many of you are not going to come back this far. However far back you can comfortably go. Over time, you could take a longer stance. You'll feel more of a stretch over time. So the forward leg starts straight, and you can see my toe is beyond the stem of my chair. So it's really under the chair in my case, and your chair may be different than mine. So allow for this. I'm going to bend the forward knee just over the ankle and then straighten the forward knee. If you don't need both hands on the chair, whatever leg is behind you, drop that same arm down. And then inhale. Going to bring it up near the ear or within your range of motion for shoulder issues, please. You're going to do it again. And each time you come forward, you're not doing it loosely. You're really making an effort to reach forward. The shoulder comes down, the fingertips are kind of focusing right where the wall meets the ceiling. So you're kind of angled forward. You're not like this. You're reaching. Yeah. And two more. And then with both hands on the chair, it's a little insurance policy. You can come forward and then change sides. So make sure you find that stable foundation. And just to show you how far apart my feet are, I'm not standing like this with one foot behind me. It's kind of like a railroad track, those feet. Bend the forward knee. Make sure you're in good position here. And then if you're comfortable, you're going to drop the same arm as the back leg and do your sweeping action with that. So inhale. You've got four more. And then when you're finished, you could come forward. And the feet are, hip bones distance apart. Your hip bones are here, not here. And then you'll do a simple balance pose. For those of you who are a little challenged with balance, you could also, if there's a wall handy, you could come over to the wall as well and hold firmly onto the wall. For those of you who are with me behind a chair, just going to hold as much as you need to. If you have to really grab it and you're taller, you may have to soften those knees a little bit more. So on the inhalation, you could lift up the heels like 1/8 of an inch, and then exhale, lower the heels down. So you're checking on your balance. You're seeing what your balance is like today. And then as you do more repetitions, you can come up a little higher as you feel comfortable. So this is very individual balance. Inhale. Exhale. So that was 3. Now you're going to come up and you're going to stay for a couple breaths. So inhale up, exhale, stay. Inhale 2, and exhale down. Inhale 3, stay. Inhale 1, exhale 2, exhale 3, exhale. Now, if you're finding that you're not using the chair at all, you can make a commitment to just bring the hands just a little bit off the chair so it's there quickly if you need it. So inhale 4. Heels are up as high as you comfortably can. Inhale 2. Inhale 3. You're going to feel all the little muscles working in your legs. Inhale 4. And then exhale down. Good. Bring the right foot back behind you. And make sure that you're nice and stable. Again, you don't want to be like a tightrope walker. You want to have that train track position. And then you'll do a half forward bend, keeping that back heel on the floor the whole time. So soften this forward knee if you locked it. And then exhale, hinge. You're going to feel this, hopefully, in this hamstring here. And then return. And then forward. You don't need the chair. You could bring the hands on the hips. Last time. Before you change sides, let's just come down and do a stay. Bring your hands on the chair if they were off the chair. If everyone's chair is going to be a little different, if you can bring the hands on the stems or even on the seat of the chair and just hold the stretch for a moment. You can play with the forward leg as far as how much it's bent or straight, just to see how it feels. Just try to avoid just generally locking that forward joint. You don't want to pop it in place. And then soften that forward knee just a little bit. And on the inhale, you're going to come back up to the back of the chair if you went down to the seat. And then you're going to come forward and change. So you can see that I'm kind of moving my feet around to get that nice connection with the ground. Softening this forward knee so it's not locked. And then exhale down, feeling that hamstring here, hopefully. If not, then make a little adjustment, maybe a little straighter, maybe a little longer. 2, 3. Those of you holding onto the chair, just hold on to it a little bit lighter over time. 4. Just to make sure we're doing the work in the legs on poses like this versus the arms and shoulders. And then when you're finished, you can step forward and stand tall. And then bring the feet wide. The toes are not forward parallel to one another. They're angled out just a little bit so that when you bend your knees, you feel like your knees are tracking over your ankles and it's comfy, right? As you straighten the legs, you're going to see if you can squeeze those gluteal muscles consciously. And then because as you come down and you bend the knees and you have this wide stance, they're just going to stretch out naturally. They're going to engage as you come back, but you can also help it along a little bit by intentionally squeezing those muscles. And then down, exhale, and down. And then come down, stay. If you are safely standing here and you don't need the hands, you can bring the arms up in goalpost arms, goddess pose, 5-pointed star. You're adding arms in. If not, you're doing this still with your hands on the chair. And then come and do a stay, hands on the chair or not. Fingers maybe even the toes. Inhale here, and then exhale. Just slowly come back. Walk the feet back in. Take one step to the right and come forward to stand in front of your chair. Not going to sit down quite yet. Unless you're tired, then sit down. Now, if I was standing in front of my chair like this, and I was going to sit down without looking, I might fall off the chair. So you want to make sure, kind of glance down and make sure that there's about the same amount on either side of the chair. Getting myself looking like that for the camera here. And then powerful pose. So you could do just a gentle one, bending down almost to the chair if you can, and then come back up. And you could do the whole sequence like that. Or you could bring the arms out as you lean forward, press into the floor and come up. You could squeeze the gluteals as well. When you come up, exhale. Exhale. And exhale, stay. Bring the hands on the knees. The knees are still bent if you can. If not, you will have sat down by now. But if you could just slowly lean a little further forward as you lower the bottom down onto the chair, that would be great. And then shoulder rolls up and back and down. You could do a figure 8, which is one shoulder at a time. Again, body appreciation. Noticing the shoulders. Everyone's shoulder is going to be different. You have lots of different architecture, history, physical history, things, injuries that we've had in the past. And just habits. Maybe we sat at a desk for many years, kind of hunched over. So our upper back is kind of built like that. So shoulder rolls are wonderful for just gently moving those muscles and starting to work on that support of the skeletal system by using those muscles in the back in a different way and opening all of this up. So now you can close your eyes for just a moment and just notice how you feel. And then on the inhalation, open the eyes. And we'll do a twist and a forward bend and do some relaxation at the end. So inhale, reach for the sky. And again, shoulder issues could stop here, or you can go on if you don't have shoulder issues. And then as you turn to the right, you're going to bring your arms down halfway so they're parallel to the floor. And then come back to center. And as far as your head, you could look in the direction of the twist. Yeah. And come back to center. Palms in. Off to the other side. Look in that direction. So you're turning the head, you're working with the cervical spine. Exhale. Last round coming up. And then bring the arms down. And you could sit back on your chair. Oh, I forgot the forward bend. Sit forward on your chair again. Inhale here. I don't edit these, so whatever happens, happens. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward bend. Draw the shoulders back and come up. The next time you come down, just do a little stay down. You're exhaling down. You stay here for 2 more exhales before coming up on an inhale. And then on the inhalation, you can come up. Yeah. Nice. So now you can sit back on your chair. Yeah, get comfy. Yeah. So now's the best part. You get to just relax and kind of notice the effects of the practice today. Moving those joints and encouraging movement, the movement in the big joints of synovial fluid and smaller joints as well, can be a very big benefit for those of us as we grow older. So close the eyes now and just kind of notice what you notice. How do you know that you're alive? In yoga, we call it prana. That's that life force that lights you up when you enter a room and allows you to enter the room, as a matter of fact. So close your eyes now if you haven't already, and I'll take you through a little body scan. So get settled. And then scan your body, kind of visualize it if you can't feel it. Scan your body from the head to the toe. Notice how it feels. Notice your head, your neck. You could even move a little bit when I mention these parts. Shoulders, upper back, chest, belly, lower back, hips, legs, and all the way down to the feet. Now bring your attention to your breath. How does the breathing feel? Is it different from earlier in the practice? And shift your awareness to the area around the heart. It doesn't have to be the actual organ itself, just that whole central area of the heart. And you sense your heartbeat. Generally, do you feel warm or cold? Moving further down the body, do you feel any sensations in your belly? How does your skin feel? Notice the state of your mind. Is there any change from the beginning of this practice? Relax fully into this seated pose and continue to breathe deeply, staying aware of the subtle sensations within your body. And we'll give that a minute. And then on the inhalation, open the eyes. for end of class. Bring the palms up under the solar plexus like so. Inhale, draw a circle of light and health around you. Bring the palms to the center of wisdom at the forehead and the center of love at the heart. Namaste. Good job. Yogic clapping. See you soon.